And now I say, in fact, today's agenda and to us, or pay me guests, lawyers, and or more, if you have no bidding common. There 2 TV or Man FM, Ash FM, NAP Radio, Kencity Media. Me din Edeyaw Amofabo. Achi social media platform ni nyina so koswa onsa ebekaye. Council Eric Odro Akwaba.
Yeah, right.
Boko de.
Nyame adom.
Okay. Council Amoda Tenso Akwaba.
Attorney.
So they are US boy.
Attorney, yeah.
US boy.
Because so I'm going to cancel the attorney.
Well, I don't know. My lawyer see vetting nobody 1 year actually around that they follow kakra.
Yeah, in fact, we share few excepts.
Okay.
Yeah, but as I said yesterday, you know, first of all, my main first kwenya is na menchia yati for any akufo.
Yeah, dofo.
Na yen na nyame ase say enenso so kra no ye da so tin kwamu. Enye ono a enka ye no yen sehwe enti Tembia, and I'm perceiving a ye and in come for pa and much ready and pong. For say young qua, I want to say. So the night actually, and dear, let it be kind of say, and young Cassia only come here
And Kennedy
and country. Yo, on say, any part 2 and percent, any part 1, and now with see. Say Dennis.
Okay.
A J. Say Dennis. Ochire interpretation.
Okay.
Na say ochire wade a obehu say papa no. He's a walking encyclopedia. If you say ochire interpretation interpretation your course you and I know say your course a heavy. It's a heavy course. First say obi atwere a document in the ato. Nenya wona wotwere
yeah let's say what me
uni pan trimu po uni circumstance na happen when the person was writing the personal life the beliefs the education asori awoko the family life the namfofo enema working kind and then he found the tray a legal document and he found a long time let's say a will and he found a Enti ni animals intend die. No. It's him again than it's you. You and I, but you see, chassis intia yes, put yourself in the shoes of the person and then give us the meaning of the sema and interpretation, for example, constitutional interpretation. But non-legal interpretations, non-legal interpretations.
Yeah. Statutory and non-statutory.
Yes. Thank you. Statutory, non-statutory interpretation. Oh, say a more act. Yes. Funny meaning. A more word contract. Yes. Now in funny meaning. And the idea is easy. But said then is although not much saying. What me we do so idea. What me show idea to say or check idea. Now. Ochire wade bia so a e was teaching the law you have to back it up with cases. What you say obechiro say case we this particular page of that particular this paragraph no a quote to from the paragraph to back on analysis now
one paragraph any pages
so Dennis is a walking encyclopedia. It was an interpretation so a construction of the law.
Yeah.
Construction of the law. And see, or there back with cases. And it's a good judge.
What troubles be brains.
And apart from interpretation, you know, so what there na land law bemwa. Because what trade book about land law in Ghana. The act no crown no he's a great contributor in the act. The land act na abano. What you say. And when it comes to criminal law, what trade books our criminal law. And when it comes to criminal procedure, there are 2 different things. The soft law, which is the criminal law, and the procedure is the practice of it. What trade books or what you say. And now judges, call judges school, to say ye trainee judges, to say ye trainee lawyers, our new act be and our new procedure be one. Obakona said Dennis network on the organizing, on the training, on the BBA, judges will be finding some. Most of the lawyers say who are colossus. These are great lawyers in this country, you know. Or now pass it through the hands of Sir Dennis. And Sir Dennis was Court of Appeal for a very long time. When I met Sir Dennis, or chair my dear, the way or child no up and down, and the punctuality 7 o'clock. You be fit to my back last week.
Time.
Me or chair my dear 1 year later. And our chair my dear, I'm speaking from a personal encounter with him and personal experience and interaction. Or chair my dear, no, 1-2 class muda. I don't know whether I was
my Lord Chiba for the chair.
Main and now main. Okay, great. Saturday be our busy now. Be our other things because our international practice, our international encounter, our number power, the legal, you know. Dennis is not just an individual judge, or just an ordinary judge. He's a colossus. He's a walking encyclopedia of the law. He is the jurisprudence. I'm telling you the truth. And to me, no, a promoter a man for Cornell. I mean, Tia said, why? Because I said Dennis, I didn't think the court, if I don't call Court of Appeal, I mean, Supreme Court to that. Because all the cases, they are happy, they are on him. And you have no baby a book, macho. Okutani iPad say, yeah, no, I'm not can. Open books and question. Go to so many cases for her. You say they say no, actually. So for me, I don't think say I will politicize this. Me any politics. Yeah. Or deserve to be there. Yeah. Me Krananka was a long time ago. Yeah. It's a famous lawyer no Kumasi. Obianim said Dennis. And I thank God within my heart of hearts, as a Ghanaian, as a patriotic Ghanaian, me Denyamiasi says Dennis at the end of the day, no, or Supreme Court. Yeah. Because you say Embrana Yawon, apart from say be a church Embrano. When you look at the nature of law as well. According to Holmes, when the Holmes, or see judges also make laws.
Laws, yeah, U.S.
Because yes, U.S. I mean the American. When you study jurisprudence,
yes,
you know,
yes.
American positivism, yes. Positivism, or Oliver Holmes.
Yeah.
And
Oliver Holmes.
Say, when the Holmes. So unya obia, onim emra, nese oye jaja. They developed the law. Yeah.
Now, Minjua, no. Article, friends, 11.
Yes.
Article 11, the association crime.
Sources of law.
Yes, source of law, Nankasano. Judges' determinations, Nankasampono. A law.
It's a law in itself.
Check Article 11.
It's in your case law.
Yes.
It's in your case law.
Yes.
Because almost pass it. I said, elections are won at the polling stations. Say, we have to adjust. We have to adjust. And it's a judge, the judicial decision of a judge. That's what try to do. In terms of your case law, near refer, and we can say near refer. Now, when you send out a quarter, that's a idea seminar. You make a lot of references. It depends on the case, the precedent. Sarah decides the precedent. Yeah, would be better one. And they said, Dennis young Crawford, or one of the type now, before there's a court Supreme Court, or better, deserves a call for us to develop
the law
properly. Amagana, Afa, Nentumapa, Efra. And for me, I'm not going to politicize it. Then when you come to Akabuafu, no, or general jurisdiction, I my general name pen. I present a case. He's a fine gentleman. Yeah, on an educational background from Canada. And most of the cases, already in the judgment, cases from Canada, persuasive cases, and some are backing it up with the Ghanaian. He's a great gentleman. Also, what's it? It's for me. Over here, you won't call on deeper too, and I made the medium dance because I have experienced them myself. And from the little that I know, I think that they deserve to go. No matter what my develop with the law. We should not import political colors. And make sure because we are judge now.
Politicians now they are no more.
We are judge. Let's say what you call now. The assembly. Oh, judge not to hold. And we the advocacy system. Oh, na we are canasem. We are boning crow. We are boning crow. Lawyer for busa and sem. The cases to back and not judging utahona utie. Until the court system said that says a judge we do us and when you can always step up. You can if it's Supreme Court, you can always go for review. And I said then is any of them for the Supreme Court. So why wouldn't you as an up and coming law you are a law student, so you know exactly what I'm saying. Say at the Supreme Court, one judge will not sit down and decide on the case. Time the court to be constituted is 5.
Yes.
5 judges.
Review 7.
Yes, justices. Oh, sometimes you can go to 9.
Yeah.
And number 2, until one person's brain and or they decide on idea. Wait, not remember. So let us leave the judiciary to be independent as it's supposed to be.
But I say, cancer.
I'm sorry, we are coming in.
Yes. Yeah, Baby share. What the basic assembly, the fit for so more upgrade. She say, or more no, I should say, somebody could be minus or
yeah, B minus.
And no echo. Oh, dear, no, Ukraine, no, Russia, Ukraine war on Sembai. And combo be brain one a course, and Iran. And Israel, and so dear, meaning so when near the Vias my uncle.
You, say, a better lawyer say, watch my education this morning, and I appreciate that. Why I dare say, Waboma Basu, because such platforms, you know, when you be a or tennis now or the Nenya in Shia or Nedin Shia, won't me more. Abaso say inti said then what books be brave.
Yeah, said then is
just the books be brave. Book minimum post about book.
So the abstract talk.
Inti a year fiction. Yeah. On the threshold na Ghana wono. Based on fundamentals, the macroeconomic fundamentals, now inflation is around 18.4% as at me. The almighty prime rate is 20%. That's the monetary policy rate. And sana dollar no so a man move kakra. I don't know say ascend na. Now when nyina no ye new government no buy no. Also the government policy on the priority. Aha enti say no maybe anko ye a o metoa so. So the fetch B, we say, is born out of one restructuring of our creditors. Inti omo edo omo kani nyina no aban no a restructure washishe intua no foforo.
Aban we buy.
Okay. Yes, he has had a lot of extensive discussions with the creditors. Omo edo omo ka. Inti enu ye one. And the trust bill is fiscal consolidation. What you say? They are not spending. They are collecting the money, but they are not spending. And this is another factor. When you begin to spend colossally, if you begin to spend capital expenditure, oh yeah, media can see a honor. The test will come say, really no, the indices na no, yena so no, a bit me jina na sentiment. Because the government is not spending, and everybody knows in Ghana here. Maybe that is the strategy of the government. Maybe in July, some presented the half-year budget now. Maybe they might tell us what we need to know. The autonomy and san a year, one area meka a DD, you know.
Okay.
And also no, oma yema a court nim kakra. Inti.
I want the payment. No?
Yeah, the payment. No. Inti interest I'll bet you, principal I'll bet you, and also no. Say in finance, and once you extend the tenor, ema ho haro, timidoka 100 cedis. Now see you mean for 3 days into ya. So they call 10 days make you come be yes 100 cedis now. 100 cedis. Answer the bear, many sanity. Into we say no dear. Well, it is good, but a new government, you know, the policy on person will follow old government, you know, and the things that it did, you know. That's the more reason why I are appreciative B minus rating.
And to share the aban or buy any aban or honor or more any yoye any baby away nam see no who say quite on names one year baby woman.
No, you can't determine.
Okay.
I bet you me 8 years, Brian. Where just 6
months.
We
are fain was starting. But the trouble we were starting which was the race now was starting was starting a year. Well to say baby
trajectory. A funny I found to me in Sisudia.
Okay.
Because when the government is not spending,
Okay.
2, people are complaining of food prices, despite the fact say inflation is from. 3, dollar is from. Still, no people are not feeling it. Kakra bi na import no me fi abrochiri. Aha, inti ufa ne saa ansa na taxes sigura nka ebe. Regressive taxation. Saa one city no.
Yeah.
Regressive. Yeah, because the 3 types near progressive, proportional, and regressive. Say ebeba emma no still regressive. Emma ebema man for ye here for more. Ebe fete here for no more. Because adibi abetobia no fu ewum. So the government hasn't begun spending colossally. That's the more reason why into yeshe. And now memu dia you can do so many things to cushion your fundamentals. And they are great. But why would you share Kaswa road na we haven't significantly tackled them.
Edaho.
And it's kind of yes. Once a better to deficit financing, a better to expenditure, a better to income, a better to contractors as are you able to pay them at that particular time? That's a question. Because to meet your muka, now almost what treat your amount for said a be expand the economy. And it is something that any say because we haven't seen any major expenditure. And that is where it must come from. Revenue, the tax revenue, the non-tax revenue, they are making sure that they create the buffer. That is very good. But as to how you begin to spend it, and I think, sir, if it had been very easier, I don't think, sir, Anka almost the one city in the Beba.
Yeah.
The government is struggling in terms of revenues.
Maybe no more correct.
Because the only tax revenue.
And normally, it doesn't contain media budget now they introduce tax.
Now they are ashamed. Yes, so it tells you, say, that was why it was wisha, and you know the response to it. Enti every let us be candid.
And the certificate of emergency.
Let us be candid. ADBA can you live in Adi? I buy a trade when it was 6.9 billion, Brian.
And Omunya.
And I projected 2022. 2023 would have been 8.4 or so. 2024 would have been almost 10 billion. And yes, Kaketwa. You can't wait say in ego and now they for and it's regressive because Sikanini there 1 liter no once the yes scammer no or no near money coupon you try to make school fees ni ho hare no ahanti we say no a regressive escafo no enkuntia no or no and the money full allowance me money full allowance we amount full allowance it won't be kwakodim so it's regressive. It's a taxation system that affects the poor. And say you levy the upper level who from
conclude mame.
It's good. And we are not discounting it. Inflation is 18.4%. We are not discounting it. Treasury bills have come down.
Still
and America no. That is the issue. That is the inflationary inertia. No. I build home a cano, ya bokana shim, a dahodada. Into the other bia, no one more near and getting so one can say this subsidy and answer bibi a best amount for a or no naked you any sikana oyen, Unyan, and one or the boss are inertia the shemuno. Young fans are try the NT cities. Then they see a teso about 70 cities are. Who got what they are now? Who turn at 70 cities? We turn 90 cities. So there's 20 cities. A friend saying inertia, high shame. And I said, "To me, Tom, say about better revenue. Yes, we now friends. I'll be to me about cost. So yeah, it's very good, but we must see fuller expenditures
from government.
Yes, development. Holidays, a background bona deficit finance and a crown widener. Then we can give them reprieve. Say yes, we are development project and a dear kaba. Other than that,
today, say more any cancer. Cancer.
Yes, sir. I say a tax expert at Casa. I was jotting a few points down, but the person look at the whole thing from economic analysis.
Okay.
In the first place, Obusa question B was a French B minus, etc. People are jubilating and okay, say akufo-addo there no 8 years. And if you want to actually compare Mohammed's 6 months now let's take the first 6 months of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo 2017. Or better take Franca or be Pejan and Sawo say so help me God. And it's 6 months. The first 6 months. Oramahama. First 6 months. That's where we can do evaluate a critical analysis. Circumstances at that time. Circumstances at this time. Now you share the two. No? Then we are compare apple to apple, oranges to oranges. That's where the analysis in the first. Maybe next week when you come, we can do.
All right.
Proper comparison and proper critical analysis from a statistical point of view.
Okay.
Now, so person who near air cost or Ghana ha. Me pese obia enra of far makola kakrababia Novotel ne was here Accra hotel. Who say anabedu ho ne ho ye jam. And what time you Accra Technical University boost a wee program near about 2 o'clock. The busa man for say there and there Sunday and now. You can see cars. A whole way.
And yet the congestion exercise on my end.
A whole way cars.
Okay.
I'm not even using humans. Okay. I'm using vehicular movement. A whole way. I'm sorry, moving like I'm sorry. And then Sunday, and then Sunday, and then Tuesday, and I had to say, and talking about economic activity. So we find the entire national income, which is the national income, consumption, investment, government expenditure, which I'm going to tackle from where you started from.
Okay.
Government expenditure, then the net factor income from abroad, which is the export minus the import, determine our trade balances. Over government expenditure, which is also part of the equation of the national income. Now, no, government is not spending. And if government is not spending now, it means there is a shrinkage, contraction in the economic activities of our country.
Yeah.
And if there is contraction, this equation more definitely the national income and if government expenditure no control now, it means now we are not building infrastructure. And the government emphasis system the economic engine activity crank. Hence, hence cars move. Hence, inflation based and because there is no demand. People don't have money.
Because the government the highest spend than India.
Yes, because when they do government expenditure, it's the trickle down effect. And they say you bet your contractors car. Contractors bet your a bit trickle down economic activity generating. Government is not spending. There's no economic activity, no income in pockets. You are too full amount of cost. And the economic impact when there's an oil price hike, could see the ordinary manner, all the food, all cockatuation, so. And almost freezy government expenditure, and there's no activity, incomes echo form, consumption abba form, because government in expenditure now and investments in also the echo form. And to say if you do the econometrics, the government statisticians, econometrics, no more transfer they will see its effect, the shrinkage, the frozen of the government expenditure, and they will see its effect on all the other parameters, all the other variables in the equation of national income. The GDP.
Are you saying government will spend there, then you be a different economy?
So government or spend there, it means the expenditure of government is going to eject an expansionary effect on the nation. Activity they will consume more. Now they are consuming more. There's going to be demand on a nema. A month for Juba and say the economy is supposedly.
Why do you think then why is government not spending?
I mean policy right now. I don't know their policy right now.
Because they are okay kind of a bunch of spend there. And near my bay activities special as say coso.
Sabai Kase, Edam Kasepe, when you are doing an economic analysis, we know it's all things being equal.
Yeah. Okay.
Set on the ceteris paribus basis. Okay? On the ceteris paribus basis there, that's what is supposed to be. But say Aban spend it na interest rate cost through. Na man for to me loans scam
financial. Interest rate was 28.
Oh, you see what I was saying?
Rate net 28.
Yeah.
Interest rates between 30 and 35.
Of what I
say.
It's a type parables. And government say in managing an economy, you have to look at all the variables. And the econometrics, if I find the simulations, me injective way into it, now a number will be happen. How do I control this? And so all these things. I also want to say in every economy we have the physical policy aspect of it, and then we have the monetary policy aspect of it. The LISI curves. And they determine the interest rate, they determine inflation, they determine all the variables. So you have to understand the economy of Ghana, all the moving parts, and know until you need an economist. And to the Minister of Finance, sometimes you don't need Obiwaya Finance to be the Minister of Finance. You need an economist. Until the Kwasibocho was great, and I'm going to say it. You need an economist. Yeah, or take monetary policy, I say. Yeah, or physical policy, I say. Yeah, or to me, adjustments in the economy to make sure, say,
synchronize.
Yes, synchronize it. And when this curve is moving this way, whether this curve also has to establish an equilibrium. To establish an equilibrium. And what they are doing, them guys say minimum policy, but therefore, almost shrinking, almost freezy government spending. It means government activities. Yeah, what's that? Injected the engine of growth, almost giant and our roads are good, but we will do roads and roads near good. Then the hinterlands can bring in the agriculture produce, and so build the roads now. When you are building the roads, then if factories here build, it should be holistic approach. And to build the roads, you make sure say light so you make sure say trains you make sure say petrol posts what's it in such a way say drivers can do whatever. You make sure say agri farmers and when they fertilizers etc. When they produce, not so the bar tomato and say tomankese and say wakomadan. By a tomankese now, tomato factory, we can juice it, we can puree it, we can do tomato juice, we can do tomato paste. And there's a demand in the market. And feeding the market in Ghana, then we enter into the after. And your president, your government, now you think holistically. It is not about say machi way. I will keep on saying say you need the leadership with that particular mindset that believes say let us generate or create a lot of economic activities. Because they're creating the economic activities, and they don't understand activities, and no every siphon, every pool of the resources that we have in this country, and the resources, part of it is the human capital. And now akufo-addo build that tool with the stem, and let's get use. Young pull them into the factories, young pull them into innovations, young pull them into IT, young pull them into so many things. You just don't produce the human capital. Now we are. If the human capital you cannot practicalize the online, it becomes useless. Zimmerman, one guy found the Zimmerman. Or say resources are, but they are made. And you can get gold, then the gold is chef from her. Now Ghana, you see, you will go see and two gold, let's say you get the proper gold, near translated gold into various consumable and and that gold is useless.
I see,
what you say? And almost freezy government expenditure. And almost tax amount for almost economic activity in the country will slow down. When economic activity in the country slows down, almost also control inflation. But
inflation dollar.
Yes, inflation will go up again. If you say productivity is shrinking, the productivity is shrinking. Not Ghana for end produce. Of say we are not expanding. Nothing. The demand no because it few goods chasing plenty money. And the best about inflation and inflation soon any interest rates they have a relationship in economics.
Yeah.
They have a relationship.
Yeah.
And we start to forcing whoever that is sitting down as our Minister of Finance, when you are doing your economic analysis, look at the entire spectrum. Which one of the parameters you can control or freeze, and which one of them you can set into motion. It is like say auto chess, auto dummy. As a leader, I will move this for a reason. I will bring this back. At the end of the day, Akroma. Are they taking Ghana to Akroma, or Ghana is standing on one spot and left, right, near
market time.
Market, thank you. Market time. Other nations are moving forward. Yeah. Other nations, there is no country, a developer of Ghana, president, we are here, thank you. I'm build school. We be track build the road. We be track I'm interchange. The crab who are saying, government should go beyond that. Not government any of expenditure obey boa ama omanu afana kuma pefra ama mabumu enya juma pa aye. That is my concern. What I say, we don't put people in our positions because saying say, but put people in more position. They journey on mine who say, and I'm away a tour, and yet for the sake of party, but for the sake of the country, because parties are within the country. Countries are not within parties.
Wow. You know me, Franco Trading Enterprise for na adman opaya today's agenda, bro. Make I will say, so penema eboa me fie kama, ope TV, oba studio ha. Your cameras, your TV, your Nema Hudo Bebre, ya eboa, Emma ha, kama, Upebia, Ubenyabi Franco, one tabletop fridges, refrigerators, a hodo I would name, and they want the CCTV cameras and swabba, phones there, ya can't Ghana Franco, and a decan Franco Kwane, a company, as a open product, Biato, Omoho, Okone Bini, who 24 hours. The next flight, air product, and a pet na. The bro can national so main office no other braka on Roxy Cinema na hwe ni mu frɛ 0555 939311 0555 any Franco Trading Enterprise for any nkomo sadia meka ye no sɛ wokɔ online na www.francotrading.com woni amani nyina wo ho ni apɛsɛ ɔtɔ ni mfamre wo fi akama ya no aka ya hye no so madina ha ɔmo obi e post office obi o hacho Hacho main station on Sabecon will be so Osu Oxford Street, on Sabecon, Moko Circle, Moben or Door Rice. One may quote Techimans, I will quote Techima Main Street, no so many GCB and a share anymore, and on Swaka Shannon so. Or outlet no door, so what the answer will be free or number no fra, baby a Ujina Biano, on bed director and well room office no back Kai say 0555 939311. Council. And now, yeah, share
before we continue, yeah. Na ayi na LPMC go tiri one because me hu so fe bibia so
LPM no say na kwara kwa dey training me
I was looking for a paper what you say. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm impressed.
So we are I'm
impressed.
Cancer Iran and war ya mai ya mhihie
hey say ya mhihie nkakra but and yet likely say Middle East or no betija.
Okay.
Because we be as on so no.
Okay.
What
kind you likely say betija person?
And we the make sure my be see near me kind also. Who say on the 7th of October 2023 and Hamas crew Gaza to share Israel for so no more year a fashibi. Obukumbi the maim some alleged rapings and son of kidnapper or chibi a question of my banquet. Until on the 8th of October 2023, and then Netanyahu say, we are going to start the war and we are fighting. We are at war. Now, after this war, the Middle East will be a peaceful place. It will come, son. She said, hey, Papa, what is he trying to get? It's not me who say a necessary evil. It may have been a time I know Mashisha and my affidavit de Omunsaka. Inti cancer and say, Usha, Israel is fighting 7-prong, just say 7-prong.
Council, we are they not brothers? That's my question. To us.
Would they eventually? Because Gaza for a year Hamas, West Bank, Ansana Syria, Ansana Houthi, Ansana Yemen, Ansana Waba, a friend is saying Hezbollah, our Lebanon, Ansana Waba Iraq, Ahanti sankrofo we nyina no ye nkrofo a Iran for the sponsor wo. Now one thing is that before 1979 no na Iran system no was more or less like crown system. It's not US or embassy or honum, and they were friends to Israel. You know, the old Persians and the Jewish had always been what? Friends. In terms of trade, in terms of business, in terms of military what? Exchanges. In 1978, a friend is saying, Hamini, a man musuno, and pipa no beji boss. It for the past 46 years, no dear. Omno matanaswa na papaya or ye the supreme leader no. I told her no. 1979 no muji or manisi or manas. 1980 and or winning election. Or winning election 2 times. 1980 to 88. Now, the Saddam Hussein who say, akwe oba betnasui.
Ayatollah Khomeini.
Yes. H no, ebian Hamini, be say, aha, ya be kan Kamini, but o me Hamini.
Yes.
Ayatollah.
Yeah, Ayatollah. And Saddam Hussein into omo kun ya 8 years. It is papa we no Ayatollah no, ono war expertise. Aha, ono akun because he had been a president. Na was a supreme leader.
Yes, so kokota the people that be around the fashion go ni what man so train go. The be able to court. Why the wakwa nti ono no ono oye warmonger. Then ni why you come. Just say onim sane ye satatis ni they don't try him. Na dwuma bie pa. Onye easy. Enti on the man share nsa, I mean true we say omo they get their president in Iran. One thing is say everybody omunya high line president. The next one no oma benya moderate. Okay. Into share Ahmadinejad, papa bi na efe na Ahmadinejad. Na nani edin pa ofri ho na Rouhani e bai onu so enti bribia no. That is how they craft it. Na West ne pese omni omo ka nuclear a friend is saying negotiations now. Nuclear weapon negotiations.
Negotiations now. Na oma fasie enrich empower poses no. Yemen, Hezbollah, Hamas, and all those people, including Syria. And the Abba say, okay, Israel who is no. One thing they saw, they say a basa or person in Iran for director. Iran missiles almost 3,000 missiles. You see, Yanyan in Tierra says, what's a pa? Houthi for no will be, Hezbollah for will be, Satan may for friends and Hamas, or more rockets near ye. And Netanyahu said, no, any one said, me miscalculated, any one said, me to Minasi. Until they can't tackle Hamas, and Obubo my pray, or real or ba, Hezbollah for Lebanon. And Obubo my pray,
or any kakra.
Or real or call Syria. It's a Syrians no more working, and a Syria for no so no, or Mupamo, Abasha, Siswakoshe, Russia. And now Brabako Sharas is more or less the president of what Syria. Now one thing is say, Netanyahu one trusted Sharano, anti-artillery, munitions, command centers, friends and launch friends and centers near Ninano, Wabombu Honina, into the Syria, about military capabilities are Israel at trash almost so Abombu Nina, Kakrebinaka, Omuhunka, Mesa Bombo. Because they are fearing say ebeshe sa etuati foreign sa they are likely to pounce on them. Not just say Hamas on we as for West Bank there and then omo baby intend there and share issue. Omo ne Hezbollah for we, omo Syria for we, Iraq for no they are omo yet too much of a threat. Iraq Shia militia omo too much of a threat. Now for Yaka Yemen for omo no money thing because according to sources crowd and come to me nuclear a friend is saying program now and combat transfer be a combat Yemen for no one trenchy until Momu Chamuso. And that was the plan. Yes, I know, and Trump by pen of Fred, the first president, and on Nko Kasai, on the 15th of March, and Trump to share a force, Yemen force. Houthi for no. Dabi. Trump.
Okay.
Yes, that's 15th March. Bubu omu nyina apre. Nti obewie na no. Houthi for no so okay. Say no omo pacha nti no US omu nya so nti US ja ape na omu de omu ni bre ekoso Israel for so. And Israel ko say omu port of Hodeidah. It contains about 80% of their imports and exports. And Omsanko say other ports or Sana. Omsanko say more airports. Meaning a strategy. She said no you. Enti almost near Bubu, but one thing is that they have artillery of what? Missiles. Some no. Yes, how missiles no. And no Iran for the moment. Almost two are very powerful. Ain't na the Iran for to see and they are very powerful no. It's air defenses no because the Iron Dome no and for short range and mid range what missiles and it means one no. It say I know the it means one no. I say be a David Sling and I say be a R1 and 2 and no the it means so I can see no especially ballistic and supersonic missiles. Enti owie we say ni nyina no a hu say dey afi dey why you know I know where to share Iran for so. Enti is a friend is saying Yemen for intimi ma Hezbollah intimi ma is a friend saying Syria intimi ma Hamas intimi ma Iraq for intimi ma into obubu omu nyina pray. But one thing that Israel cannot do yet, one of the nuclear sites in the front of Fordo and tanks and no a chefom into here stealth B2 Buster bunker fighter jets.
Just watch you in good.
Yes. I want to mean so now they are now begging USA or mumra or aid or mamre no to achieve that particular target. And this is because that is where the
interest near.
The interest is that I think unless is Antoine because I did a very strong research. Reason in say people say, and it is asserted that Israel had nuclear weapons since 1960s. Almost our weapons, you know. Argentina, almost use the question I may be say Iran was a nuclear weapon now since 1960 up to date in control now, and so they use it as what deterrence. Ultimately, when it changes, to not developer, almost developer, a friend is saying a uranium. Capability up to 60%. And he said, "Unya yes, I did na pa." It means say, "Wajedra, your more chance so I did be a can be an unsuru." And that is one thing now. Middle Eastern countries, you know, they were forced to align themselves with the US because there's little that you can do. US is so basis baby. So the key reason, Abribiano so omututuya. Sisi away ekosui Iran eto missiles eco civilian we say Israel so betimi ato missiles from their place to Iran but they don't do wait me at night Israel honum no ato missiles but on obetu a friend is saying a replay no the ababe or the ababe face or honum and these are the difference I'm a person Ghana for ETIAS say Iran for no two missiles now, or no two the Bekulubian and Fano. But Israel no more stockpile of what? Missiles are cruise missiles, hypersonic missiles, supersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, or no movie. On Tnani Chromo on to say or the because for that. The BB as I said, they are saying say people have to evacuate certain districts in what? Tehran. Said they hit the military installations. Now they have hit most of the military installations, the radio, the national radio company, the national TV, and others. So the hit, of course, is civilian infrastructure, but a war you can hardly complain about. So these are the reasons, a man Netanyahu now that he's hitting what? Because okay, you see May 1st, I know Bayana Trump's in our company. Now what happens? They say. Trump Emma Iran 2 months. That is 12 April. Say omufanye negotiations. part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. 5 no mabe na problem naba. 5 no so no on the 12th no amukwa akoye no na che say 2 months na so 13th and Israel for to show almost so they exonerated themselves from what say omemu from your friend saying na advice na so enti we kro no omdi fun omumu
me da say jiwa home cancer
yes
yeah kwa wi na me bisa say ene ekoso ho nya nuano ma asem na ekoso ho
yeah question we no mean to me answer the reason being is papa wa exhausted why exhaust everything that must be said and the technical the management in our work but I want to come back home. I want to say if you allow me to actually talk about what is happening in the party now. Is Israel for any why exhausted and he at for it. But when we come back home, in our party, we use the word war. A war is war. And actions of some people, war executive, what they are doing, what they said yesterday, anyone intention, neck, anyone intention, is more than instigating disunity. And when there is disunity, the disagreement. When there is disagreement, there is conflict and dispute, and this dispute and conflict leads to misunderstanding and therefore war. Because we are talking about war. Yesterday, there was a meeting, NEC meeting, and a NEC meeting was supposed to consider McQuay report and the constitutional review recommendations na party ni Now, Justin Kodia, the general secretary of the party, I'll sit on this TV and tell him to slow down his role because MPP party party a creature of law. Creature of law means I'm free baby and a buyer the mra and a share party and a mraso and a war party and a party so constitutional a chair choir ye faso etwaba since time immemorial. Say ye twa yes started from the grassroots, the base, the 5-5 from there yemra electoral coordinators, if you are yemra constituency, if you constituency are yemra regional, if you regional are yemra neck, yemra pempenifo national and manema, and the flag bearership race. Obi also two frank ama party usually yashisha aseni we are now asef for na decided who should bear the flag for the party for any presidential election party ebekum. And unfortunately yaba opposition. This is the time for the party to unite, to reorganize, to revive, to bring back hope into the party. Party no constitution file was a review. The review recommendation is there. And it's a Justin Kodia and the rest. Pay attention. The review of the say, young two presidential primaries early. The same interpretation. Early no say young two first. Early. Just young two in term. Say we can prepare ourselves. We need enough time to do campaign. We need enough time to prepare the party for the national elections. Enough time, reasonable time. Omukaya afedi amu pese musi eduano tiase mu pese enipa nante a ode nan nante no this time mu pese yemfa yeti en nante ne nan enhwewiem ma emoja etu yehurim ene yanum ene yasum enti yan two presidential primaries no first what you say now for others ya two in between two presidential primaries I don't want to explain the structure that they are proposing. Yes, I am not interested in the structure they are proposing. What I am interested in is the structure, the existing structure. As so party now, I say, from 19 in the 90s, I see now. You told my President Akufo, you told my Adubuahin, you told my President akufo-addo. Am I do the headry? They cannot. And I mean it. I'm speaking as a party member, and I'm speaking as a lawyer. I'm not speaking for anybody's interest. But I'm speaking from my personal my analysis of the constitution of the MPP, and also for the ordinary man on the street. Adia yenim, and say you frasie and yakosro. Adia yenim, and say you sit down you free foundation and yakosro. Mr. Justin Kodia, because of your personal interest, and I'm stating it and I mean it. And untino, mo person ye capside the idea no. Now your two presidential new we are. That's a nipa no be we need 20. That's a nipa no be a power dranker. Or don't ever control the entire system. MPP is not make in that way. Your nature, your creation, your composition, your constitution is not about intimidation. Your constitution is not about treaty. Your constitution is about the fact that let the people decide. You don't go and decide. And my brother has spoken. My brother Agyapong has spoken extensively on Sumpa FM. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Kencity Media. Yes, I remember. I think about 2 months or so when they started the thank you tour. I had an interview with Honorable Yamofa. Okay, and I'm a preemptive among for say this is Ompesomoye Napo and meet chairman Wasa areas, Western North, other places, any air convince say Omumpere and my to free esro na pampem emesi form yen see ni pano triase eni pano triase ya yen see ase ni say the structure the existing structure aso party no asumdua ba no ya empo time ni pa 17 eco pre the primaries no ya capside no afterwards ya maintaining ade no abisi there empo womudi sa special electoral college ba mu say ni pano group 5 yen so ne so ni enyi the top 5 that therefore time no crown yan capside and say yan too free so embrace. Now more person to the bomb no person yi person na muyi emma party no mu say to ben say mo awenia na mo kwa na mo make a decision for us. No, this would not happen. It will not happen. Mr. Justin Kodia, sit up. Seriously. Because some of you are lawyers, so you are lawyer, be a lawyer. And you understand interpretation and construction of the law. You know, say, when the core of a brand, brand management, every brand has a core and a periphery. You can change the peripheral aspect of the brand, but the core aspect of the brand still remains the same. The core aspect of our constitution, MPP constitution, they say, yeah, to abanwa, you can free the base of the pyramid. You can free the grassroots.
That's why I'm to police station.
You can free the police station 5-5. Let me see when you consider concern that we okay. We don't. It matters not. But the map, the road map, say you starting from 0. You move to 1. You move to 2. No, we are not NASA. We are not going to the moon. It's young can say 9, 8, 7. And for map they do I say yes it's 0. Now and then echo rocket no 2. Yeah, sir. The framers of our constitution, they want peace, they want stability, they want unity. Could do flag bearer be said, no control. And people said, this is what I want. And our said, where they mean to in your where they mean to
everyone has a proposals. I didn't know.
What I
say, flag bearer, and we are not where you or more.
No. Our party,
our proposal, can't say honorable say chairman's proposals. I did.
No, so we supposed to start it now and we face him or starting in Ashanti region. You got to Abano and if Ashanti region, yeah, research you know, Ashanti region being 1 out of 16, you know, Ashanti region, the anybody say any other regions, the any power. Then we use the Ashanti region or no say chairman supposed to. Suppose report say then it becomes the roadmap, the strategy map for the nation.
Production
it will not, no, yeah, this is a serious matter. Production give us extra time for us to finish this. Under 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because this is a serious matter that affects the party And if it affects the party, it will affect the country.
From the general manager,
no, please give us time here. I beg you. Yes, it will affect the party. When it affects the party, it affects the nation. What I say, and we are building the nation beyond the limit. And therefore, I sit here as in my capacity as a lawyer, a constitutional lawyer who understands the bolts and knots of the Constitution, the yin and yang of the Constitution, and therefore I will speak my mind and tell them, say, a kwanya mo fasono, and ya kwan papa. I was here for kwan papa, you run fa, ya nanan mo faso. A kwan papa, you started from 1990, about 1996, and then from 1996 to 2000, from 2000 to 2004, 8, 12, 16, I produce presidential career kwaba, a produce 2024 presidential career kwaba, ama omunina a benefit abisinde. If they are doing any changes, nothing is not omoyeno. For example, in constitutional law, in interpretation, so person will hear any amendment, you have to be able to tell us the mischief. Are there the existing law? No? A year na and tell us. Identify the mischief. Mun can say says the President Kofor Tambesi no. Adia aba ye try dey free the base. Ebesi to no. E dey be mistakes. E dey be mischiefs. And e dey abantia. And ne. E dey be ne ba search agro search jamase. E dey be ne ba agro search jamase. And I'm repeating myself. E dey be ne ba agro search jamase ntia atumpan ana all of a sudden from nowhere. Muse topsy-turvy. Yan to abano, yan man di pano for the 3C form. Na the 9 enhwe. Na on nanti da onu se enkrofo hu a ye beka so ye bayifo. Woni se enkrofo hu se nipa bi ba na the 3C form obi abedwane. O pese party di dwane. O pese moja efi ye bi mu bra.
Na nyame nkwa na menti ase na betin so nti ase. How can this be possible?
Yes. When we were talking about this, the better possible. Now, post starting here. Oh yes, I did. They wanted to test the waters. Now, almost let's sleeping dog. Lie. This sleeping dog is wild awake. This particular sleeping dog is wild awake, and we will guide our constitution. We will make sure the processes of the party entrenched in our constitution are followed verbatim.
Onim say omo kan say one me wo say no omo mandate na enso ye constituency from police station ko but omo sanga police station for nko so ombeto omo so aba e me ko omo so de enso ye
why omo for so just a chair
omo do want to ask
omo do nyasa chair ya let me tell you and I make us say mo plan sa de no ye nim de mo ye o ye nim ni nyina because mo start here the bomb man ye say ade we na mo na omo ho asere o preemptory strike obi aya catch we anticipated this mo ne ye catch us ye be my yahu interview honorable yaw efre edanabi say near consul say na lawyer mo that can near consul no and he goofed ewo that interview. You couldn't explain. I didn't think I thank you to na pony number baby no meeting between Crawford me catch them say this idea of can and run and na your intention na bebem mo se me boa and then na abamu party for sorry and then na abamu omo need the whole party here no omo sorry the mandate of the neck, if you read our constitution, is for stability of the party, it's for unity of the party, and for enkabomu of the party, and for impuntuo of the party. MPP is the only party. Yeah, a bagan, a Ghana ha. A lot of social interventions. Yeah, money can't any power only be. Ghana for her any. The opposite, they don't want it. They are looking for the leadership of the party to bring development in freedom.
I am fancy.
In freedom. If you believe in development in freedom, why are you forcing your personal interests on us? If it is development in freedom, one more time, why are you forcing your personal interests on us?
Popular party. Popular.
No, you're so important. You first a ban here no. Mo fa de nsuo no obi anko vote. Mo say mo praise ye to ban for the pam. Ebesi ni na ase no. Mo nka say yeah. Mo say yeah. Mo praise so mo nka say nee. Yes nee. Ye wie ya yes. The yes. Omo din kunim. How do you know that? How do you know that in this particular matter, at this particular time, where what opposition are, you hear transparency, accountability, straightforwardness to bring the party together? You are preaching virtue and practicing vice. Mumba Jolofuni, yeah, Mount Jolofubi. Yeah, Mount, Mr. Justin Kodia, yeah, Mount Jolofuni. Do the right thing. Yeah, do the right thing. And Nunti, let me advise them. Let me personally advise them. Yepe party in Koso. Yepe mining and punto. Mumma yendi constitution so. Mamu si ni trase. Se mu si ni trase. Mu ene matete party ni na nyame lawyer Amodate. Yendi we will speak the truth. We will speak the law. We believe in the rule of law. We believe in the core elements of the law. We believe that some of these things are entrenched in our constitution. Ultimately changing it by yeah or nay. You can't do that. Mumma, the National Congress, in decided. You don't rush people into conclusions. I don't rush it. For what interest? Already Moon said the mischief, Moon said the remedy. What you say? The golden rule, and then you want to change. In effect,
okay.
Please, enough time to deliberate, because some of us within the party members, you know, we are not happy the way you handle Enyema and Norano. Now we will not sit down for you guys to destroy the party. We will resist. Yeah, we will resist the oppressor's rule. We will resist your rule, and make sure the right thing is done.
Every now 10 minutes now, so that's around that. Council do so that's production team and Namuna must every no copa. Yame Aduma channel Paibisha.
Sinipen at 2 o'clock. We will meet you on Sinipen and continue with this agenda until say the end is in sight, whereby Munina Mobe Trans and believe in the rule of law, Nyama and Brano Ayenejuma. And the meeters I was Sinipen.